How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. It helps out, means a ton. You guys get plenty of fun stuff, not just One Piece. We cover plenty of manga on the channel, so stick around, check it out, see if anything else catches your interest. Anyway, getting into today's video, yeah, this might be kind of crazy. I don't know. I think this is an interesting topic, an interesting idea at least. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. Anyway, remember back when we learned that the D-Clan is the natural enemy of the gods, or they are the natural enemies of the gods, whatever the specific wording was. We all assumed we were talking about celestial dragons, that meant celestial dragons, or always did. Maybe it does now, but maybe it didn't always. Now, I want to preface this by saying I do think it's a little strange when you just say gods and celestial dragons, because yeah, they rule from on high, they're untouchable, but I think most people in the One Piece world don't actually think of them as deities, as gods. I think most people understand they're people and they're dicks and they do whatever they want and we hate them and no, they're not gods. I think it's a lot more of a situation like they come to town and it's like, okay, little Timmy, remember to praise them as gods. Don't get on, no, both knees, not one, just both of them. Otherwise, you're going to get shot. No, they don't care that you're 5. Just pray to them as a god. And then as soon as they leave, they're like, oh, thank God they're gone. Oh, Jesus. I can't stand them. They're so stupid. You remember that time that rubber kid came here and punched one in the face and made him look like an idiot? Yeah, that was so great. Oh, my God. So, yeah, thinking of it like that does take away a little bit from the celestial dragon side of things, but it still could have morphed into that over time. But what if it started out as the natural enemy of the gods, of the Lunarians, somebody, a race we know that was considered gods long, long, long ago? So yeah, I've kind of developed an idea of how maybe this could have gone down, and this actually does directly correlate back to the people who then became the Celestial Dragons, who became the world government. So yeah, maybe, and like I said, this is just an idea, this is just getting into headcanon territory with it, way, way, way back, we know the Lunarians were referred to as gods. I think much more people back then probably actually thought of Lunarians as deities. They can withstand any natural environment. If somebody walks up to you, goes, hey, check this out, and stabs himself in the chest and then blows himself up and he's just perfectly fine, you're like, okay, yeah, you're an actual god. You are not a normal being. Okay, you are immortal. Whatever. You'd be bound to, okay? So they probably really thought they were deities and gods. So it was much more of an actual enemy of the gods, because what may have happened is all of these kings and queens that gathered together to form the world government, well, if there were gods beforehand who ruled over the land, wouldn't you kind of have to get them out of the way before you can take your seat as the new gods, as the new rulers of the world? Now I know what some people might be saying. Where's the D-Clan coming into this? They have not been mentioned at all. Well, it's very possible that back then the kings and queens that formed the world government were, well, not quite as hated as they are now. They were probably much more appreciated back then, before whatever they did to form the world government and whatever they did afterwards. So, what if there was a group of people out there that were some of the strongest people in the world? What if the D-Clan was never a blood-related clan? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Either way, possibly this clan was notoriously powerful. So what if they enlisted them to help them take back the land from the gods that ascended from on high? The name Lunarians tells us that King's race probably more than likely came from the moon. So it would be understandable if all of these countries wanted to band together to take the Earth back for themselves. Maybe they don't call it the Earth, doesn't really matter. But they want to take it back from the gods that descended from on high and took it from them. So joining up with the D-Clan, the prelude to the world government comes up with a plan to attack the Lunarians and take back what is theirs. So they go up. Unbeknownst to the D-Clan, the prelude to the world government has their own plans in mind to let the D-Clan, the strongest ones on the battlefield possibly, take the brunt of the damage, do the brunt of the work. They, through this event, become known as the natural enemies of the gods because they are able to do something that everybody thought impossible. They are able to win. Sure, the prelude to the world government probably helps out some, but they probably let them take the brunt. After this, they then turn the tables on the D-Clan before they are able to fully recover from the fight. I mean, like, things are over, we've won the day. Turns out we had our own plans. They then extinguish the D-Clan, at least get it to the point where they have to disband and leave, and many of them have died, some of them have survived, but they are no longer what they once were. That would explain why we have random people from all over the place nowadays having this D initial, none of them knowing where it came from, why they have it, but this clan had such a strong bond, even being split up after this, they all kept that one thing that kept them together, that D initial. Like I said, they might not have been blood related. This would also allow the whole natural enemy of the gods to be truthfully about the Lunarians because of what happened, but it can transform into them being the natural enemy of the gods in the world government because the world government took that seat of power, and now this could very well be kind of an Orochi situation where the world government for centuries has had that fear that the remnants of the D-Clan that got away would eventually come back to, well, get revenge. Maybe not in the limelight of the present day. It might not be revenge in Luffy or Law's or anybody else's eyes. Maybe if Law does learn the past, maybe if this is the past, maybe it would turn into a little bit of revenge, but it wouldn't necessarily be about that right now. But in the long scope of things, in the big picture, for all the ones back then that were betrayed, it would kind of be a little bit of revenge, if you ask me. So this could actually also go even a little bit deeper and involve a couple more things, at least one big thing. The promise that Joy Boy made to the Mermaid Princess. So thinking about Big Mom and her dream being for everybody to see eye to eye around the same table. I don't think Joy Boy took it in the weird, messed up ways that Big Mom took it. But possibly, the D-Clan was a clan of all of these different species that all had representatives and people that got along and wanted the entire world to be united as equals, no matter what race you were from. So there could have been members from the Giants and the Humans and the Third Eye Tribe and the Long Arm Tribe and the Long Neck Tribe and the Everything Tribe, Skypeans even maybe, not Lunarians. Maybe there was a rogue Lunarian that joined them and who knows. Anyway, all these different races. And perhaps for a long time, nobody knew that the fishmen were down there. Perhaps Joy Boy and the D-Clan were one of the early humans to meet them, or maybe even way back then, things were even worse and worse. So perhaps they were the last race to truly, fully be downtrodden and just stepped upon by so many people. And their promise was, hey, we have made a deal with all these kings and queens. If we can help them to beat the Lunarians, then you will be able to come up here and live with us and everything will be equal. We will gain your spot. Everything will be okay. We can be together. Possibly Joy Boy and the Mermaid Princess were even lovers or whatever. Maybe that was part of the promise. And after they beat the Lunarians, unfortunately, Joy Boy wasn't able to keep his promise because the world government didn't keep theirs. All of this stuff could end up tying together in all of this. This could also just be a harebrained idea for me that just sounds really interesting to me because, well, if I'm going to be honest, this started because, well, we keep coming back to this whole they were considered gods, the D-Clan are the natural enemies of the gods, and then in chapter 1033 we had the little conversation between Queen and Sanji, and Queen talked about both how they were considered gods and brought up how they could survive in any natural environment, and a couple people were really drawing attention to that whole they can survive in any natural environment. So I was like, we're talking about them being gods constantly, now we're bringing up natural stuff. So it was one word that just happened to be there that made this connection pop up, and I was like, that's an interesting idea, and kind of just keep running with it. So yeah, I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed the idea. I enjoyed it very much, obviously. Obviously, you could tweak and mess with all kinds of things in this and take certain things out and put certain different things in, and there's all kinds of stuff you can do with it. But the center core of it is possibly the D-Clan might have been the true natural enemy of the gods. The actual gods that used to rain down from on high, coming from the moon to take over our world. It might be more than just, oh yeah, they're the natural enemies of the world government who are gods. I don't know. It seemed really interesting. Just random connection I made. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.